All right. I wanted to give my opinion about lane splitting. It probably is the concern of many citizens of Florida, and to me, it's not a necessity personally because primarily I ride locally and I ride for fun. So it's not my primary mode of transportation. Also, um, 80% of my two wheeled travel for enjoyment, for anything, is usually on some form of a bicycle, either a regular bicycle where you pedal or some form of electric bike. All right, even larger ones. So for me, it's not a immediate necessity to consider lane splitting a necessity. But for others, it's probably a necessity. For in the name of safety, and to ease traffic at times, I decided to make this video. So if any legislators are listening and they want to do something about it, this could help. All right. So lane splitting and lane filtering is really the same thing. It's just that they have defined it as lane filtering in situations where you have a traffic light. And so traffic comes to a complete stop. The road doesn't necessarily have congested traffic, it just comes to a stop when there's a light. In this procedure, two wheeled vehicles, normally speaking about motorcycles, scooters, etc., they move up on the side of the vehicles through the lanes, basically riding on the line slowly and with caution. Once the light turns green, they proceed. Legally, it should be written that a vehicle in this situation, such as a car, a four wheeled vehicle, should give the right of way to a motorcyclist proceeding in such fashion. The other definition, as you can see from Wikipedia, lane splitting is riding a bicycle or motorcycle between lanes or rows of slow moving traffic or stopped traffic. This is to separate itself from a traffic light, meaning when there is traffic. When the flow of traffic has come to a speed where it is basically better to lane split for motorcyclists or two wheeled vehicles of that format, that it will ease traffic. At the same time, it will be safer because as the traffic stops and goes, a driver might not pay attention and rear end a two-wheeled vehicle. And this is a more of a concern for a motorcycle because they're not protected like as if they would be if they were in a vehicle like a car or a truck. So there's a dual benefit. One is that you lower the traffic in that road by having whoever can move faster, be it on their own or under the direction of a police officer, and that it is safer. But again, you have to have training and understanding of all the dangers involved with it because at low speed, it doesn't mean that you should lane split in case the traffic is moving unevenly, meaning one lane is moving faster than the other, or if vehicles are stopping and going, obviously in one lane and then moving in the other, because this increases the chance that drivers of vehicles are spontaneously going to change lane in order to keep up with the moving traffic, and makes it more dangerous. So basically, the procedures of how you do it make a difference. In no circumstance lane splitting or filtering defines anything similar to what they have in California, where traffic moving, even at normal speeds, allows motorcyclists to ride between lanes. And I don't know how everybody else feels. I think it's not very safe for me personally, and I don't recommend it. But there you have it. I mean, it's understandable that lane splitting, riding between lanes at full traffic speed, and lane filtering are not all the same, although lane splitting and lane filtering are within the same spectrum. So if you think you know there should be, or the police officers allow lane, quote unquote, lane splitting, and you have the wrong definition, as in riding between the lanes, I don't think riding between the lanes is very smart, to tell you the truth, especially when traffic is moving. It's really saying we're allowing something dangerous. On top of that, some definitions I've heard or read, they allow to go 10 miles over the speed limit while lane splitting. So you're actually speeding while riding between the lanes. So that's a double fault, and I would not really put myself in that situation, especially knowing that a lot of people are not really happy with loud pipes and being cut off, in essence, on a surprise, and frightened in some sense. They hold a grudge, and they're just dumb. But when it's traffic, as you see in this picture here, I think it's beneficial. But there has to be written legislator saying that the two-wheeled vehicle has a right of way once it turns green, and in case traffic permits, when it's moving slowly and evenly, that lane splitting in that sense would also be permissible. When you have stop and go that's even, there's not enough changes, there isn't a accident where it blocks just a few lanes and others are moving faster, when there's basically no differentiation of that nature, I think it's also beneficial, because if it's especially in cases where the highway is completely blocked and stopped and nobody's moving, why not? There should be some legal protection, basically, for motorcyclists and two-wheeled vehicles to be allowed to perform and have some kind of protection. Otherwise, just in my personal opinion is that it's just not very smart to ride between the lanes at full traffic. You're just inviting disaster. All right, and that's not smart, in my opinion. Although it doesn't apply to me, because after what I've seen on the road, I don't want to have a motorcycle as my primary mode of transportation unless it is a absolute necessity, and I will do everything possible. If laws permit to, or laws change that they don't allow electric bikes on sidewalks or anything like that, I'm gonna walk on a sidewalk. I'm gonna ride a bicycle on a sidewalk. But who knows? They can even ban regular bicycles from a sidewalk. So that's all I had to say. Cheers.